A number of years ago, I was on a show with Stephen A. and Skip Bayless. And
both of them?
Yeah, both of them, on their show.
Yeah.
I was working at ESPN doing NFL. I didn't know Skip personally, and I'm going to be honest with you. Skip Bayless is not one of my favorite people.
I can imagine.
Okay.
Man. So in today's video, we got to highlight Cris Carter coming out, revealing that he had checked Skip Bayless to his face to the point where he had stood up and he told Skip Bayless that he will punch him in the face, man. We're going to get into that later in today's video. But before we get to that point, let's break everything down into context about Cris Carter and Skip Bayless' relationship. So remember Cris Carter, he used to be on ESPN a lot. So Cris Carter and Skip Bayless, they got into it on ESPN a long time ago. Let's check that out right here.
Don't put too much yeast on that.
Inspire the whole football team.
No, you can't. No, you're wrong on that. He's not inspiring the whole football team.
No, you're wrong on that. You're wrong. Okay, you're dead wrong on that one.
Well, I've been on the NFL field before. You never have.
I don't care. I know what I'm talking about.
What do you mean you don't care?
Okay. Okay. Did you lift the football team to a lot of wins? I don't know.
So me being on the NFL field and playing and being a starter and a premier player
and worthy of the Hall of Fame, by the way. But
a Christian and a leader, my experience don't matter.
Okay. But you've dismissed him. You say he can't play in the league. You told me that repeatedly. You said he's not a starter in the league.
That's not a starter. There's plenty of other players besides the starter. Okay, that's 6 weeks ago. You need to move on till today.
No, you need to move on. What does he do every fourth quarter?
You're right.
Game after game after game. They all say it. He's inspired the whole, giving him any credit.
I did give him credit.
Okay, but you're saying don't give him so much credit.
So in other words, hold on. So if we don't believe, all right, he played the game. I certainly have never played football.
Into you laughing. You laughed the last time. What happened?
Wait a minute.
You ate it again and again and again.
Let me ask you a question.
How many times were you wrong, Cris Carter? How many times? 7 times.
I know I went to 8 Pro Bowls and played 16 years.
Yeah, and how many rings do you have?
I ain't got none. You got same amount as you.
No, I don't.
Same amount as you.
But have you moved at all on your opinion of Tim Tebow? I know you said that he's not a starter.
I need to see more of him.
So the reason why I want to highlight that is because Cris Carter revealed that after that, that's when he had checked Skip Bayless to his face and told him he'd punch him right in the face. Let's check out this clip right here.
A number of years ago, I was on a show with Stephen A. and Skip Bayless. And
both of them?
Yeah, both of them, on their show. Yeah. I was working at ESPN doing NFL. I would do Mike Greenberg after doing my NFL stuff, and then I would come on there because Stephen A. and I were friends. I didn't know Skip personally, and I'm going to be honest with you. Skip Bayless is not one of my favorite people.
I can imagine.
Okay. So I'm on there doing the show. I do the show and everything. And then all of a sudden, this is when the Tebow phenomenon was going on. And he was a huge Tim Tebow guy. You know, this guy is this,
I remember it.
Okay.
Oh.
So I come on there on a Monday. And, you know, we're trading barbs and everything. We go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I just level set it and was like, listen, if throwing the football is important in the NFL, Tim Tebow will never be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
So he got defensive, and then he came back and said, well, that's why you didn't win a Super Bowl. Okay.
So what'd you say?
Which got nothing to do with nothing.
Agreed.
We went to commercial break.
So you didn't say nothing before commercial? He just said his...
No.
Okay. Good man.
I took my earpiece out, and I told him, I'll never be on your show again. Yeah. And if you ever say anything like that to me again, I'll punch you right in the fucking face.
Good for you. That's why I like you. What did he say?
He couldn't say anything because I got up. I'm off the set. Then the producers came, hey, Chris, you know, no, it's not necessary. Then the people came from the back. you know, Stephen A. was like, Chris, man, this is not. I was like, bro, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing. I'll never be on another show. I won't be on this show ever again as long as he's on here.
Correct.
So then come 3 or 4 years later, he goes to Fox. I leave ESPN. The guy that was directing the show was hiring the people at Fox.
Okay.
So he's like, man, I know, man, y'all had a dust up. Do you have any problem with him? I said, I don't have no problem with him.
No.
I don't have no problem with him at all.
Me, I'm good.
No. Well, we talked to him he doesn't have a problem with you. Why would he?
Yeah.
Why would he have a problem with me? So I had very little interaction with him when I went to Fox, but I knew that it's like playing in a card game that the deck is tricked up. Okay, so number one thing you should know about Skip Bayless and some of the programming, the way that it was done at ESPN and at Fox, I'm going to say this, that it's a form of wrestling.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, well, you know who's going to win. You know who's going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, it's predetermined. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of the arguments and everything are either predetermined or assigned.
You're going to win this one.
And everything is slanted in Skip and Stephen A's favor.
So that's Cris Carter revealing that he had checked Skip Bayless to his face. And I believe Cris Carter because remember, guys, we did a video a while ago about the producer on that show when Skip Bayless and Jaylen Rose got into it.
Something went down on yesterday's show. If you watched it, you saw it, and you lived it. If not, you may have heard about it. We want to address it. In the course of a conversation about Russell Westbrook being a point guard, Jaylen went in pretty hard on Skip's high school basketball stats. If you missed it, listen.
The positions were only created so a novice could follow the game. Just because you're a power forward, that doesn't make you physical. Just because you're a shooting guard, that don't mean you can jack up threes. That's just
what were
a
you,
position.
Jaylen? What were you?
What were you? Did you
What
average,
were you?
Did you average 1.4 points as a senior in high school?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so all of that Pistol Pete stuff, Water Pistol Pete Jr.
Okay, well, we'll address that later. We're going to.
Don't ignore that. Did you play junior?
Yeah.
Did you play JV as a junior?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll follow
you. What were you?
Okay.
What were you? What was your position?
I had no position. I have
You
no
were
game.
a point guard.
I have no game.
You were a point guard.
I have no
Am I
game.
right?
Okay, and the reason why I'm highlighting that in today's video is because the co-host that was there, in between those two, he just came out and did an interview, and he has spoke about Skip Bayless banning Jaylen Rose from ESPN because of that. That's crazy. Let's check out the clip of Skip Bayless, former co-host, exposing that information. Here's a clip right here.
But I do remember the show where, just in the context of having a conversation, Skip had mentioned to Jaylen, what have you won? You know, you and I won the same number of NBA championships or something along those lines. And I never like it when Skip would do that. And this particular day when he brought it up, Jaylen had had enough and Skip was thunderstruck. And I was thunderstruck. I was just like, what's happening here? And so he started going into this story about how the coach's son also was the point guard. I knew that that was only going to end poorly. I knew it. I had some conversations with Jaylen after the show. I had some conversations with Skip after the show. I'm trying to be the peacemaker. And I thought we were in a good place. And then I found out that this thing was about to go to a whole new level. But then came word that Skip was never... Jaylen was never allowed to do another First Take ever again. Like it was, you know, he was a banned guest. He was banished. And at that time, Skip had that kind of power on First Take because, again, the show was taken to heights we had never reached. And Skip was the guy that took us there. No question about it.
So that sounds about right because I continue to hear stories like this. I remember Gilbert Arenas' show on Gil's Arena. They were talking about the news of Skip Bayless being fired from FS1 Undisputed, and Kenyon Martin revealed that he was also banned as well by Skip Bayless. He said he was told to never come back on the show again, and he didn't even know what happened. Y'all get in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts about today's video. Don't forget to hit that like button if you made it this far in the video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. Catch you guys on the next video, and we out, guys. Peace.